that you don't recognize. I've done it myself. I've knocked on the door and I've already been in the room, you know, one of those kinds of things. I don't think you realize the gift we have in Carriage Court.
Yeah.
We have a guest today.
Hello, ladies. Morning. I have my cat. I carry him everywhere. It's Roy the Red. I'm not sure why I called him Roy the Red, but he's a very cool cat. I'd like to hold my cat before 8 o'clock. He's a little frisky. Well, good morning. Good morning. For those of you that I haven't met, I'm Jenny Randolph Ellett, founder and head mistress of St. Catherine's School, but you may call me Miss Jenny. And as I introduced my cat, Roy the Red, whom I take around school whenever I visit classes or that kind of thing. So it's the beginning of another school year, and this one's kind of special. And I thought it would be interesting for you to know about my dream of starting a country day school back in the 1890s. My sister and I were raised solely by our mother because my dad died when I was only 5 years of age. But she instilled in me the importance of a good education. So here begins my journey. East Grace Street was the first location of our school. Do y'all know where East Grace Street is? Down near VCU, okay, downtown, edge of the fan. And it was called Miss Ellett's School for Girls. And I held classes in the dining room of my home. I also tutored and taught little boys as well throughout the years, and they were affectionately called Miss Jenny's boys.
What? Miss Jenny taught boys in lower school? We only have boys in our upper school classes.
We had boys in our classes since kindergarten, and when we got in trouble, Miss Jenny made us sit next to them.
Lucky.
No, Miss Jenny even used to make us read backwards out loud in class to improve our pronunciation with words.
Did you get the email from Dr. Wolf with the grades of the Pismont Saints sent? I am nervous for my parents to see them before I did.
Saints what? I was given my grades on a white card with gold letters and I was so excited. That means I did just fine on my report card. My parents were not happy last year. By the way, that was 1905. When I came home with green and pink cards, which meant my grades were satisfactory or needed improvement.
Did you take French? How did you do?
No, I didn't take French or even German because it was an extra $30 on top of my $70 tuition.
Things have changed. Okay. Our school soon expanded in 1897 to a larger location on East Franklin Street in Linden Row. And that's right across from the city library, the big city library downtown. And it was renamed Miss Ellett's School for Girls. It was also the year that Richmond had its first electric streetcar on Main Street. So our enrollment grew rapidly. In 1906, we had to move again, and we moved to 14 North Laurel Street. That is right by Monroe Park there. And I think that's Grace and Holy Trinity Church. I forget, I'm kind of old. We had Monroe Park as part of our place where we could play. And in fact, my students played field hockey at Monroe Park. And field hockey actually was my personal favorite sport. I was pretty good at it, actually. Those that knew me said I was a very passionate teacher and considered quite revolutionary and advanced for my time. In 1917, I decided to sell the North Laurel Street location, and I purchased 14 acres of farmland on Grove Avenue. And I passed the ownership to a board of alums and patrons, and we named the school the Virginia Randolph Ellett School. And on opening day, we had 100 students enrolled, and as usual, not everybody made it the first day, but 84 attended. And this is a picture of the kids coming to school.
I thought I was going to be late for school today. The traffic was really bad driving up Grove Avenue. And then I had a hard time parking my dad's huge Suburban in the St. Stephen's parking lot.
You drove to school? I rode the streetcar from downtown so I didn't see any traffic. Miss Jenny starts school at 9:20 a.m., so we're not traveling during the rush hour.
That's not a way to go. Yes, there was a streetcar down Grove Avenue that students used who lived downtown. And it was called the West Hampton Line, and it actually ended right in St. Stephen's. And that's why there's that median down Grove Avenue. That was the streetcar tracks. I don't really remember, somebody told me that. Okay. Other students were picked up by the omnibus, and you saw that picture a few minutes ago, which was actually a Model T Ford driven by faculty members, okay, that had driver's license. And remember, at that time, not a lot of women had driver's license. So look at that license and be proud. Also, Carey Street was not paved, and it would turn from dirt to mud with every rain. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so watch out.
I wore shorts and flip-flops to school today. It's going to be over 90 degrees, but thank goodness the air conditioning works well in the buildings.
You have air conditioning? Our lower school classrooms were 3 open-air bungalows, and there wasn't even heat or air conditioning. On cold days, we even had to wear fleece-lined shoes, itchy leggings, or woolen tights, and a warm coat. At least we were served a hot lunch.
They're the lower school girls in one of the bungalows, and notice they had Uggs. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, okay, I was revolutionary. Okay, yes, girl, I felt, and this actually, for real, was a revolutionary idea, that I felt students needed maximum fresh air and sunshine. But the bungalows, even though they were open, they did have open wood-burning fireplaces that we used in cold weather. And they were built up off the ground to avoid any danger of dampness, so you didn't get a cold. And those bungalows were down where the lower school is. And they were torn down because they needed to be, but that's kind of what they look like, and that's where the lower school and that area of the campus is today. In 1920, I decided to accept an offer from the Episcopal Diocese of Virginia to purchase the school. $25,000 I sold it for. But I needed funding for the things that I wanted to do and to build additional structures. The diocese agreed to build and equip Ellett, so that's the first building there, at a cost of $85,000. I changed the name of the school to St. Catherine's, named after the patron saint, St. Catherine's of Alexandria. And after spending my summer studying at Harvard, I continued to create a more rigorous and academic platform, with an emphasis on English literature.
I remember in middle school having to read the Odyssey and the Tale of the Two Cities. How about you?
Me too. And I took algebra and Latin.
I did as well. Last year I had some challenging English classes and had to read Beowulf, Macbeth, Tales from Chaucer, Les Mis en Francais, and take college algebra and physics.
That's so hard to believe. I read those same books and took the same classes too.
You mean to tell me that 95 years later, we're reading the same novels, taking the same courses, and going to school on the same campus?
Yeah. Yes, we are. And that's a good thing. But in conclusion, my dream was always to educate young women such as you. And here we are today, 125 years later, celebrating my vision, starting a country day school and turning it into one of the top independent girls' schools in the United States. Aren't we lucky? Thank you.